So in this question here, we want to estimate the average growth rate over 4 years. Year 1, there was a growth of 20%. Year 2, a growth of 15%. Year 3, a growth of 10%. And Year 4, a growth of 20%. Now the technique for finding the average growth rate is something called the geometric mean. Now the geometric mean is calculated by taking the nth root of the product of all the numbers. So what we do here, we just multiply year 1 by year 2 by year 3 all the way up to year n. In this case our n is 4, we can see that clearly, but if you had 20 years you'd add all these, multiply these all up by 20 times and then take the 20th root. So in this case n equals 4. So what we want for this set of numbers is the 4th root, and then what we don't do is put in our 20%, 15%, 10%, 20%. That would lead us down the wrong way. What we want is a multiplier in terms of a decimal to lead us to the correct answer and the correct input for inside our square root. So a 20% growth rate, the decimal multiplier for that is 1.20. 15% growth rate, 1.15, 1.10, and back to 1.20. So you can see the pattern there. So basically, whatever the percentage is, turn that into a decimal, so 0.2 in this case, and add it onto 1. If it was less than, a decrease, you would then subtract that from 1. So now what we're going to do, put them inside the square root and multiply them all together. So we've got 1.2 times 1.15 times 1.1 times 1.2. So multiplying all that together in your calculator, you'll then end up with the 4th root of 1.8216. Approximately, that is. Maybe there's some more decimal places. You will see that when you put it in your calculator. And then take the 4th root of that. It's obviously going to get closer to 1, our input for our square root. So then that would become 1.16 and 175. So what that will represent in terms of a growth rate, if I just move this decimal place across 2 and put it to there, that would end up then being, just calculating what's after the decimal place, a 16.175% growth. And that would be an estimate for our growth rate, so 16.175%. Okay.